Hey yo, you know who it is. It's the Don. Cheer, Tony Teflon. Cheer, House Teflon. We pull the strings. Cheer. And I'm back at you with another video here today. And this one's gonna be about, because I got a lot of good response, good feedback from the plots of Peter Baelish, Littlefinger. People like that one, so I'm gonna go on to the next dude who's behind the behind the scenes pulling the strings in Westeros, and that's Varys. We're gonna go into this little bit of Varys video and stuff, and basically discuss, what Varys is getting into behind the scenes that isn't too directly in the books, and what is directly in the book, and what's his end game in this whole situation, what he's going for. Basically, we know he's working with Illyrio. I'll probably have to do the Illyrio video next, but we're gonna start off with the Varys video first. You know what I mean? And then after we do the Varys video, I'll probably come back. If I get a good response, good views from that, I'll come back with the Illyrio video that will wrap it all up. So, what we know about a young Varys is from Varys. We have no one who could back up any claim he makes, so we must say for every truth there is a chance for two lies. Varys claims he was born a slave in Lyles. He was sold to a mummer's troop who used a fat little cog to work the Free Cities, King's Landing, and Oldstown. While in Mere, a man specifically asked his master for Varys. The man offers a sum said to be so great he couldn't turn it down. After gaining control of Varys, the man gives him a drink. After drinking this, Varys finds himself powerless to move or talk, but his senses are not dulled in any way. Then the man cuts off his manhood from Sten and burns it in the brazier in a blood magic ritual. From this, Varys claims to hold a hatred for blood magic or anything magical. Now later, Varys claims that when the man spoke to the flames, a voice spoke back. But before we go into that, let's look back at the lies and the truths of the first sections of Varys' story. He claims to be born a slave, sold to a mummer's group, then sold to a warlock of some kind. For what we know, we have to assume that this man is a red priest of some kind in the service of the Lord of Light. All right. We know that the red priests look for king's blood to sacrifice. All right. If this man paid that much money for Varys, he must have known there was something different about Varys than the other slaves he could have gotten for cheaper. The second thing to wonder is why he would want Varys to feel the pain. Why did he want him to hear what was going on? So we could say that Varys wasn't a slave, but a mummer who was betrayed by the troop master when the Red Priest told him of Varys' royal lines and offered him a large sum of money. The troop master obviously was broke because they were sailing on a small cog, so they needed the money, and that would give him the motivation to betray Varys in the first place. When the ritual is completed, the priest tells Varys to die, but doesn't kill him. In fact, he had to stop the bleeding in order for Varys to have lived. Varys says from that he vowed to live just to spite him. So we got to see that at this time there has to be a little lie within there, because obviously if the man's dick was cut off, he would have bled out. He couldn't move. He couldn't do anything. So if the guy wanted him dead, he had the chance to kill him. But he didn't want him dead. So he must have patched him up and threw him out for some reason. All right? Now, when he's thrown out during this time, Varys turns into a prostitute, begging, thievery, and anything he can to get by. Using his mummer's training, he gets to be known as the best thief in the city. He then trains kids to steal for him until these rivals start getting word of what he's doing and make him flee for his life to Pentos. All right? In Pentos, Varys meets a sellsword named Illyrio. Now, using Illyrio for muscle, they form a thieves' ring where Varys would snatch the goods and Illyrio would act like he found them and sell them back to the owners. This makes them both very, very rich. This is when Varys starts his Little Mice network, where he purchases orphans and teaches them to read and write and be quiet and quick. He trains them to climbing and trains them in climbing, scaling, so that they can copy information and return it to Varys. This makes him and Illyrio even 10 times richer than they were. Word spreads of his fame, and when King Aerys, who is paranoid at this time thinking everyone is out to get him, feels Varys would be a great asset. Varys packs up his spy network and becomes the king's spy master in King's Landing. He renames his spies Little Birds, and then he has them learn the secret passages in the Red Keep. Anything they hear or see, they are report to Varys. It's Varys, remember, that tells Aerys that Rhaegar is using the attorney at Harrenhal as a pretext to try to gain support from the other lords to remove Aerys from power. Thus makes Aerys go to the tourney and makes no one talk about this shit because he's there in their face. They don't want to say nothing. But that's the first time this dude even left the castle in a billion years at this point. Now, after Rhaegar falls to the Trident, Varys tells Aerys not to trust or open the gates to Tywin. But Aerys listens to Grandmaster Pycelle and allows the city to be sacked and the death of any Targ remaining. So we know from everything Varys seems to be loyal to the Targaryens, and he plots with Illyrio to put a Targ back on the throne. Now Varys claims to have switched the babies and sent Aegon across to the Narrow Sea. This only works if you think Varys planned on the city being sacked and every Targ being killed. But at that time, the king was taking Varys' advice. So why would he not think that he wouldn't take his advice instead of listening to Grandmaster Pycelle? But I have to get into the more of the Aegon thing more with Illyrio, because that deals more with Illyrio. So Varys goes to the former hand of the king, Jon Connington, and asks him to raise Aegon to make sure that they're not found. Varys spreads a rumor that Jon Connington drunk himself to death after stealing from the sellsword company and stuff like that. Now Varys puts his plan into play, and he tells Ned Stark that Jon Arryn was poisoned for asking questions, and that Cersei is trying to take out Robert. He then brings a letter he got from Sir Jorah Mormont saying Daenerys is pregnant, which makes Robert give the command to assassinate her. Now Varys knows that this is the same thing that got Ned and Robert to fight before. And once again, Ned says no, he's against killing of children, and then storms out and resigns his position as Hand of the King, which is what Varys wanted. Alright, Varys then meets Illyrio below the Red Keep, and Illyrio tells him that it's too quick and they have to stall. Now is not the time for the Starks and the Lannisters to go to war right now. So remember, after Robert dies, it's Varys who tells Joffrey to blame Sir Barristan Selmy, and he listens and fires him. And somehow, some way, Sir Barristan Selmy miraculously, for some reason, joins up with Dany. So Varys has taken Joffrey's best military leader in the same way he took Ned from Robert. And if you really look at Varys' whole MO, that is his scheme all the way through. That is how he does it. He plans on taking the king's right-hand man away from him. That's his whole plan all the way through. Now, Varys, still trying to delay the Stark-Lannister war, persuades Ned to admit to treason and take the Black. Ned agrees, not knowing that Littlefinger is playing his old game, using this time, and he uses this time to take Ned out. He convinces Joffrey to take Ned's head, messing up Varys' plan and starting the Stark-Lannister war. Varys then forms an alliance with the new Hand of the King, Tyrion, and helps him gain control of the city's watch. He then gives him the info that Cersei is sleeping with Lancel. He shows Shae secret routes so Tyrion and her can meet. He also tries to gain Tyrion's trust by telling him how he got cut. And he says that the reason he doesn't want Stannis to take the throne, and he says that this is the reason why he doesn't want Stannis to take the throne. But the real reason he doesn't want Stannis to take the throne has nothing to do with magic. Don't believe that at all. He says it himself, and he says there is no creature on earth half so terrifying as a truly just man. And he understands that Stannis is truly just. Varys also knows that Stannis did not want him pardoned and wanted him killed. So there's no way he could support Stannis' claim. And by using the red magic just gives him a excuse that he can just say without saying that. Varys then flips on Tyrion, testifies against him, providing notes and a bunch of damning evidence at his trial. Tyrion is convicted during the trial of combat and is supposed to die the next day. Jaime Lannister, at sword point, forces Varys to free Tyrion. On the escape trip, Varys leads Tyrion past the ladder that leads to the hand of the king. Varys says, let's just get out of here, let's just get out of here. But while he says that, he gives him the direct course and exactly how many steps it would take for him to reach Tywin. Tyrion sees Shae and he kills her and his father. So let's look back at this again. We know that Varys took Ned from Robert and Sir Barristan Selmy from Joffrey. So it's safe to say Varys knows that Jaime is not the same fighter he was before. At all. Period. It's very safe to say that, right? We have to agree that he, with all his little birds, he would know that. So he isn't afraid of him. His plan, Varys, has been from the start, as I said, to take the number 2 guy away from the king. He did it with Robert and Ned. He did it with Joffrey and Sir Barristan Selmy. And he pulled the hat trick with Tommen by getting Tyrion to kill Tywin. He placed Shae in that room along with the crossbow and knew Tywin would be poisoned and knew Tywin was being poisoned and knew what poison was being used and that he would be on the shitter at that time. Without a doubt. Proving my point that this is his MO, Sir Barristan Selmy at this time tells Dany that Jorah was spying for Robert and Varys, thus leading to Jorah and Dany breaking up, and Sir Barristan becoming her new number 2. After Tywin's murder, Varys goes on the lam, and Cersei finds a Tyrell corn in Rugen's chamber. Now, Rugen is Varys' dungeon disguise, so this makes Cersei not trust the Tyrells even more. Really makes her think that her suspicions are real. Now with Cersei, a person who can't rule, in power, Varys isn't really needed to be around anymore. He has his spies offer to sell Qyburn secrets, making Cersei believe that Varys really isn't as valuable as he needs to be. Varys then has a puppet show in King's Landing that shows his true feelings and intentions, and uses it to start to gain support for the Targaryens. It's about a lion who starts to eat their own subjects. When the stag says stop, the lion eats the stag. It isn't until the end when the egg hatches and the dragon eats the lion. It seems to have been working because the show becomes very popular. So popular that Cersei orders the puppeteers put to death and those who watched it to lose half their wealth. And this is what Varys wanted. And as the puppet show showed, the lions are just out of control and are eating their own people. And he is placing the stage for the Targaryen invasion. Varys then unfortunately for Varys, Cersei disgraces herself, and Varys is forced back into action. Varys then kills Grandmaster Pycelle and has his birds go get Kevan Lannister by saying that they sent a letter from Grandmaster Pycelle. Kevan Lannister right now is the Lord Regent. Varys then shoots Kevan and tells him that he's ruining his plans, and he threatens to undo Cersei's shit in the planning for years. He says that Aegon is alive and he's coming to take the realm, and then he has his birds come and kick Kevin's suffering. One second, sorry, I should not have clicked that. And it's called Kevin's suffering. So that is a basic rundown of everything that Varys has happened in the book. Now, there's a couple of more behind the scene things that we can talk about, but mostly that is the Varys story. I have to, in order for me to break down the other things, I have to go into Illyrio and Aegon. So I'm gonna have to do a separate video for Illyrio and Aegon and stuff like that. But as I said, Varys plans from the beginning. He has one MO and one scheme. His scheme is basically to take the number 2 person away from the number 1 person. And he does it constantly. First with Robert and Ned, he breaks them up because he doesn't believe Robert's competent. Then he has Joffrey lose his best general, Sir Barristan Selmy, and gets him sent to Daenerys. While getting, because he knows that Sir Barristan Selmy is on the council when is sitting there when he gets the letter from Jormont saying that she's pregnant. Knowing that fact, he sends her over there to break up Dany's best military advisor and get her out of there. Because at this particular time, Varys' plan is for Aegon to take the throne. In the beginning, the plan was, well, you basically, I would have to go into, that's Illyrio's plan. So basically, I had to do Illyrio's video to go into the Dany side of Illyrio, why they switched from that to Aegon and everything else, and what happened there with Viserys. That's more on Illyrio's side of the coin. So that is my thing on Varys, major plots on Varys. My second one will be the major plots of Illyrio. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. Please like, please thumb up it and everything up. And please get more people to like and subscribe. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it a little bit shorter so I can upload them a little bit quicker. I know the Littlefinger thing was like 40 minutes long, but Littlefinger takes 40 minutes. If I put them both together, Illyrio, this and that, it would be 40 minutes. You know what I mean? So we just do the quick 20 on this cat, and then I'll hit up Illyrio next. If you want me to do it. If you don't want me to do it, then, we'll get back to doing other things. But as always, thank you for all my new subscribers. Thank you for anyone who takes the time to comment, anyone who takes the time to listen to this, you know what I mean? I really do appreciate it. It's like I said, this to me, I'm not, trying to get rich on this or anything like that. This to me is basically just fun. This is some of the, I have more fun just seeing that people watch this than just about anything I do in my life besides hanging with my kids. You know what I mean? It's truly a blessing that anyone would actually want to sit down and listen to me. Say anything. So I really do appreciate it for anyone who does that. So please subscribe, please like, and please comment, and please keep your comments respectful, because if you say disrespectful stuff to me, I don't want to have to block no one or ban no one and stuff like that, and I don't want to have to get lippy with no one, but some people, please, man, you gotta just a little respect. RESPECT, baby. That's all we need in this world, you know what I mean? And we can keep this movie. So as always, and hey, I know that, what was it? I have been told by a couple of people that I keep saying this phrase over and over again. I forgot at this particular time what the, and stuff like that, or something like that, and stuff like that, and stuff like that. I guess that's what it is. I don't even realize I'd be saying it until these two people pointed it out. And I watched the video, and I guess I did say it. So basically, I got through this whole video without saying it until I just said it right now. So I'm sorry if that is a little annoying. I guess I could see how that would be, but in all honesty, I really don't know what I'm saying. But now that it's been brought to my attention, probably I won't say it as much subconsciously and stuff like that. So as always, thank you, thank you, thank you for subscribing. I said that already. Let me get out of here. As always, you know who it is. It's the Don, Tony Teflon, House Teflon, Teflon 316. That means we pull the strings. Peace. The people's champ. If you smell what I'm cooking.